Hello traders, it is your number one trader Moses coming out here today. I'm going to try and do things a bit differently. I realized that with the previous video I took you guys through a complex trade that I took, trading the strategy. And this time around, let me show you guys like the bread and butter of the strategy. So I'm going to be doing my markups live. I'm going to be trying to I'm going to try and have it update here on the left. As you can see, this is my tablet. The screen is split. On the right hand side, I've got my MetaTrader. This way I execute. Usually I just only have my MetaTrader up on the tablet so that I can actually, execute the trades. However, I've just done my analysis. I've completed it on EU. So I'm going to try and have it update in real time on the left hand side, but I am looking at it from my laptop purely, right? So I'm seeing a breaker structure at a resistance level, and we've just broken our POI on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and reach into EU, and I'm going to execute this trade, right? So I'm going to go ahead. You see, these are my spreads. This is a raw spread account, as I told you guys, with XNES. So I'm going to be risking a roughly about, let me just drop down to the 1 minute over here. Okay, there we go. So it's right at this high. I'm going to go ahead and throw about 4,000 in this trade. Let's go ahead and get this here to change. So 4 lots, no, that's 9. Okay, that's a bit much. Let's say 6.5, 6.9, 6.7, no, 6.89, no, 6.9296. I'm just trying to find 4,000. So that's basically, oh my god, 7. Okay, 7 lots, right? Okay, I'm just gonna buy here with 7 lots now, and I'm gonna put my stop loss right over here. So this was about a 4k loss, right? So I'm just gonna bring it right over there. So if I lose this trade, I lost it live with you guys. Okay, it's saying I can't execute my stops. Let me try and adjust it again. As you can see, it's moving right into profit, which is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, my stops are now placed on this trade. Now in the 1 minute, as you can see, we are above the moving average. So this is a trade where I would hold a 1:2. So I'm just going to drag out my tools to see where I'm going to put my stops at 1:2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and monitor the market now. Hopefully it hits TP, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. And yeah, so this is risking about 3 pips for about 6.2 pips. So it's a quick trade. This is how I normally trade. And yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see how this goes. But anyway, this is just a trade. So we just sit and we watch it now. So 9 o'clock, this is when I trade from 9 to 11. And so this is basically how it works. Now we just waiting over here. We in the trade. Just gonna monitor it, of course. We're just waiting for it to monitor. As you guys know, this is a live account. If you guys don't believe so, you can open up an account with XNES yourself. You can then go ahead and actually make a deposit, make a withdrawal. You can watch the previous video, like the first 5 to 10 minutes. I was just literally breaking down that it is a live account. So we're just going to hold this trade. The trade on TP on TradingView is at 829. 829 is just about 8k. So I'm just gonna move it to like 830, but now that's me being greedy. 829 is right over here. So as you can see, TP is literally about 8.1k. After commission is deducted, it'll be like a 7k trade if it does reach all the way to TP. If it doesn't, once again, as I mentioned, it's cool. It is what it is. I don't trade feelings, I trade the strategy. So let me try and give you guys a breakdown. Let me go ahead and set the TP. So let's go over here to here, modify trade is now okay. Trade is on. Trade is gonna do its thing. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, let me go ahead and make the trading view screen bigger. Okay, so let me give you guys the breakdown now. So how I start off with, I'm gonna have to do the breakdown on the tablet itself because on the PC it's not really gonna update like that if I change time frames. So for example, if I take the 1 hour on the laptop, like my monitor and stuff on my setup, it's not gonna pull up the 1 hour here, right? So I have to like, you know, do it all here. But anyway, we start off on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, I identify my support and resistance, right? If you can't find your support and resistance easily, then you can always switch from a like bar chart to like the candles chart. I'm sorry, from the candlesticks to the line chart, right? No, that's indicators. Oh, these are indicators I use anyway. Asian session or Asia range by Nico 948, and then I use the moving average, that is the 50 SMA. I only have it to like open on the 1 minute. So if you go 30 minute, you won't see it. You go 5 minute, 3 minute, you won't see it. But when you go to the 1 minute, 1 minute, okay, so it seems like it's hit TP. Wow, so that's a quick trade. Let me just go back to my MetaTrader really quickly, make sure that it did close us out. Once again, guys, this is a live account. Oh, and trade did close. Wow. Hey, as you guys can see, 8,000 rand made. I showed you guys a breakdown of this trade. Literally a 6 minute day. Funny thing is, a few years ago, I used to work at a call center. I used to make about 5K a month. And right now, you know, we've been blessed. You know, we've stuck through the trading shit. And yeah, man, we just made 8K after commissions, like 7.2K. I'm done trading for like the day because I have to go at work. You know, I have to work at like 3, and I only trade my New York from like market open, so 3:30 to like 6 o'clock. But today is Wednesday. There are some news coming out, so I'd only trade like 4:02. I've got a calendar like on my left. I don't know if I can show you guys my actual layout, but I don't know how to like stitch videos and shit like that. As I said, I'm just a guy who trades, showing you guys that this trading shit is real. As you guys can see, 8.121 made. I don't know in how many minutes. The recording has been on for like almost 8 minutes now. So if you guys do have any questions, please go ahead and leave a like and comment. And once again, this is a real account. You guys can look at my previous video that I uploaded. It is still that same exact account. As you guys can see, the strategy, you know, works pretty simply. Let me continue with the breakdown. Sorry about that, I just got derailed for a second. But yeah, baby, I'm done working. Yeah, 8K made after commission, 7.2. So I'm just talking to my girlfriend. She said you guys obviously can't see. You guys only see the thing on the tablet. But we're all gonna head out to the beach to just, you know, enjoy ourselves. But let me get back to the breakdown. So I start off from the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, I identify my support and resistance. Then once you find your support and resistance, I then use the horizontal line. For example, this over here is an interesting area, so I do that. I'm just showing you guys what I would do, right? I would do that. So now that's like a range. Then I would then use my rectangle and I would highlight my area. Now it's important that I highlight it according to the color, because I know on the lower time frame that okay, this is a zone that's a higher time frame support and resistance zone, so I can expect there, you know, to be some movement for stuff to happen, right? So going back down, so as you can see, I've got SNR, POI, imbalance, IBM, black box, 30 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute, right? As I told you, I think like an SMC trader, but I execute through support and resistance. Why? When I traded just purely SMC and all my entries from my POIs, targeting imbalances and other areas of liquidity, whenever I would lose more trades than I would win. I remember I lost about 13 trades in a row, and that really hit me, you know. I was like, and looking back at my losses, I was like, I would go up 3R profit, then I'd like end up losing the trade or going break even. and psychologically that was bad for me. Most traders will tell you that trading is about 80% psychology and like 20% technical. Now my technicals were there, but my psychology was really not there because of that, right? So I realized that okay, my personality is I don't mind waiting for a setup, but once I'm in a setup, bro, give me my money or like give me that loss and let me go about my day. So that's why I trade the way that I trade now, right? But anyway, continuing with the breakdown, once you've used your horizontal lines to find your zone, then because I'm still on the 1 hour, I'm going to use the SNR. This is going to make it purple. So let's just wait for it for a second to update. Come on. Let me just do that again. SNR. Okay, now it's purple. So that's what I would do on the 1 hour, right? I can't really find any other zone here or just close to this region over here, right? So I'm just did that to show you guys where I'm at. So I dropped down to the 30-minute. Now 30-minute, what you can see is this is that Asia range by Nico. This, as I said, I think like an SMC trader. So this here simply shows me my area of liquidity. Now what you can find is there's probably going to be an SMC trader that's going to catch a buy all the way down where I entered. So let me just quickly label that Asia high. Right, there's an SMC trader out there, right? So it's gonna take a buy from maybe, let's say here, put like maybe a 3-pip stop loss. So it's gonna maybe target this whole high for 1:12. I have caught such trades before. If you go to my Instagram page, Elevate Proprietary Limited, you will see where I've caught 1:17 on gold, 1:6s. The thing is, that is not really consistent. Oh, thank you, Sana-san. My girlfriend just bought me a nice plate of breakfast with some bread. Yeah, man, I'm letting you niggas know it's on. But anyway, let's just continue with the breakdown and how I would identify it, right? So in the 30-minute, I can find a nice area over here. So I'm just gonna draw that over there, horizontal line there once, and another horizontal line. I now have my zone. Now the zones that I have, if you remember, I've got a 30-minute zone. Oh shit, let me just do that, delete that. Let's do that again. I'm going to take you guys through the rectangles that I do have pre-saved up. And so yeah, basically just draw this here. Now because we're on the 30-minute, we're going to hit the block and we're going to say 30-minute. Right, now as we drop down to the 15-minute, we can use the pink zone or pink rectangle because we are above. Let me just show you guys this here one time. So as you guys can see, I got 1 minute. I don't really draw zones on the 1 minute anymore, but I just keep it there. The 5-minute, we can use the 5-minute SNR rectangle. It's yellow. We can use this for zones that we identify on the 3-minute and on the 5-minute, right? Nothing beyond that. The 30-minute zone, we can use it on the 15-minute time frame and the 30-minute time frame, right? The normal standard SNR, this is the purple one. We only use this on the 1 hour time frame, right? So anyway, once you've identified your areas like this over here, let's say that the Asia high, that's this draw of liquidity wasn't there, where would I take a setup over here? I've got a breaker structure. Keep in mind, we think like SMC traders. So here the market is clearly bearish, right? We have wrong one, info line. Yes, the market is bearish, right? Bearish means that the market is going down, sellers are in control, the market is making lower lows and lower highs. Over here you can see that the market is actually bearish, right? This here was a change of character. Why is this a change of character and not a breaker structure? Because let's take a look over here. The market was dropping, right? Like, oh shit, I need to delete this. The market was dropping, making lower lows, making lower highs, so on and so forth. And then it did this. This here is a change of character that didn't have no breaker structure. So the market continued down and it changed character again. So as you can see, there's probably people who took longs over here. If you didn't close these longs that you took, you would have blew your account. That's why it's important to respect your stop loss. But anyway, yeah, so we made that lower low. The market pulls back into the zone. Why did the market pull back here? As you can see, this is a zone that we've identified to be what? a 15 to 30 minute support and resistance zone on the higher time frames, right? On the 15 minutes or on the actual 30 minute. Fuck, I'm trying to get rid of that shit. Where is it? Let me just do it this way. So once we've identified that change of character, where is the high that caused the market to change character? Where is that high? The high is literally on a support and resistance zone. Now if we come here, there's our POI, there's our bearish engulfing. Let me just delete that and draw this again. So I would then come over here and I would map this out to be my POI. Right, this is blue. Now the reason why I like SMC is it doesn't really leave a lot of questions. A lot of questions meaning you know where you're entering, you know where's your exit. So your entry is right at the bottom of the zone of the POI, and the stops is right at the top of the POI. Now in a case like this, I wouldn't just take the trade from here, obviously, because it's on the 15 minute. I like executing on the 1 and the 3 minute, and sometimes on the 5 minute. But essentially I would drag it all the way there, right? I'll drag it all the way here. Now why would I drag it all the way there? Because there is another POI, there's another order block at an area where the market acted as a support and resistance. And if you take a look at it, it's purple, meaning that what this was identified on the 1 hour time frame. So this is why I only use like the 1 hour and below, right? So that's how the strategy initially works. Oh, one last thing to touch on: how do I determine when to hold for, let's say, maybe a 1:2 or a 1:3? I'm going to take you guys through that right now. So with this trade right here, this POI, right, this POI that we just actually drew right now, let me just delete that. What we're going to do is I'm going to drop down to maybe, let's say, the 1 minute, right? Because this is why I only have the 50 SMA visible on the 1 minute, is so I can do this. Let me just go back there really quickly. So as you can see, now the POI, this is a 15 minute, right? POI, remember that. But on the 1 minute, let's say I found one on the 1 minute, right? Let's say I redefined this. Okay, there's a quick one over here. The market has just made a huge impulse, right? The market has made a huge impulse. Let me just get rid of the zone impulse, and then we have a 1 minute SNR. Keep in mind I don't draw my zones from the 1 minute, but if I did, there's a reason why I don't. The 1 minute is a bit too unreliable. If you want to be open to taking more like losing trades, then you can, but the whole point of me trading the way I trade is to take less losses. My trading view or my MetaTrader needs to look blue. There obviously are going to be some reds. Everybody loses trades. However, I'm going to win more times than I lose. That's the whole purpose of the 1:1, and the whole purpose of the 1:2 is that I can maximize on my winning trades without being greedy, right? So anyway, this is on the 1 minute, so you just say 1 minute. Now what do you find here? We had a huge impulse. We went below the moving average, right? Went below the moving average, and then we've got a POI right over here. Why is this a POI? Because guys, this is a break of structure. Keep in mind, even on the 1 minute, this market over here, this impulse, this entire move, it dropped, right? It closed below the previous support zone, so that zone is now going to most likely hold as a resistance. So it pulled back and then it went below again. This is how this would look like on a line chart. This, as you can see, is a break of structure. This over here is a break of structure. Now this break of structure gives you an OB, so that means that we know where we're entering, we know where we're exiting in terms of TP, stop loss, in terms of stop loss and entry, right? The whole purpose of this is to show you guys where or how to determine how we hold for 1:2 and whatnot. And then bam, we're going to drag this out this way. We're going to say POI because that's what it is. It's a POI. Now you're going to take your it's important to not have spread. Now I trade with the zero spread account, so it's exactly like this. In a case like this, we're not going to hold for all the way to here. It's easy to say that now in hindsight that, oh, you could have held for like a 1:5. You came in with 4k, you would have made 20k on this trade. It's easy to say that, but in real time you don't know how high the market is going to go. And remember, what do we say? We're avoiding people. We're going to get to those days where we make hundreds and thousands of rands in a day. We're not rushing there, man. We're not rushing there. This you would hold for 1:2. Why? Because our POI, our POI, the OB, is below the moving average. This is a supply right over here. This is let me just make this a bit more prettier now. It's looking a bit messed up. Let me just get this, put this here, delete this. Right, I'm just trying to make this pretty so you guys can follow and not really lose track of what I'm trying to say. Let me delete this 15 to 30 minute zone and just keep it like this, right? So guys, as you can see, our OB, our POI, it is below the POI. Our supply zone is below the moving average, and we are looking to sell at the zone. Why are we selling? Once again, we had to break a structure. This is a huge impulse. The market just doesn't move this way completely, right? This is unhealthy for the market. Impulses are unhealthy. The market has to drop, correct, drop again, correct, so on and so forth. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And this is a support and resistance zone. The market closed below our support and resistance zone. We found a POI, an OB, a supply zone at our area of interest, the supply and resistance zone. And since we're below the moving average, the 50 SMA, since our supply zone lies below the 50 SMA, we can then take a short for a 1:2 trade. Just as we caught the buy that we just did on EU. Let me just try to bring those stuff back that I just had deleted. Let me just get the current price really quickly. Once again, you guys saw in the previous video, this is a live account. If you guys haven't seen, please go ahead and watch that previous video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Last time I checked, I was on 33 views, so thank you guys for watching. But yeah, as you can see, people be like, oh man, if you held this trade for like maybe to this Asia high, this drawn liquidity, you would have made like 20,000 rand. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good, but in reality, I don't know it's gonna get up there, right? When I used to trade that way, I used to lose trades, so I had to adjust my trades to fit my personality. I'm happy with making the money that I just made. I just told you guys, I used to make 5,000 rand a month, 5k a month. Now I just made like what, 7k in literally a couple of minutes, right? But anyway, as you can see guys, exact same thing that I just explained today. We had a resistance zone, a support and resistance zone on the 5 minute, right? On the 3 and 5 minutes, this is the zone. I identified the zone. I waited for the market to break structure, and I did find an OB right over here. This OB doesn't really look, it's not a clean OB, but it did the job, right? I know my OBs. And there's it right over here, the high to the low. We had a break above, we had a close above, market continued. And then what did we do? From our OB, we entered our trade, we got a bit of drawdown, and then the market pushed the TP. Like literally how long was I in this trade for? About 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 minutes, bro. I was in this trade. So this video is obviously going to be how I made 8k in 5 minutes trading forex. And please leave a like, comment, head over to my IG page. Let me head over to my IG page so you guys know exactly like what to find. As you can see, these are all of my shits over here. Mind my user interface and shit. Yes, you guys can go to my IG. Go ahead and follow my IG, man. This is my IG. This is where I'm at. As you guys can see, this is where you can go to my IG and find all the ways I used to trade, bro. Like, see, I used to I developed, this way and stuff. I went through a lot of, huddles. I was just, getting into liquidity. I was like, okay, market does this, it's gonna do this. I used to look at that, bro. I used to be a fucking beast. So I've been catching these high R to R trades. The issue is that when you enter a losing streak, it really affects your psychology. Look where I started, bro. This was a 500 rand. I think I was still trading with vaults. Yeah, I was trading with Volt over here, 500 rand. This was in 2023. I used to make about like what 300 rand a trade, 400 rand a trade back in that day. Now, hey, we making 8 7K. You know what I mean? So, as you see, guys, the numbers are gonna go up, but the skill set, you guys have to focus on the skill set, build yourself. This is when I finally passed a prop firm challenge accordingly. Yeah, that's me. But you guys can call me Moses. But yes, that's my name. As you guys can see, I've been posting a lot. You guys can go through these. Please leave a like, comment, and go follow your boy, man. And I'm trying to get this to like maybe 50, followers and stuff. So once again, peace out, guys. Gang.